What's up, my fabulous friendos? I know math is around the corner, so we're just going to talk about a few things to make sure that you feel good and you're successful. So, STAAR math tips! We're going to start with our first one, okay? Tip numero uno. Now, this tip, honestly, is probably going to be one of the more important ones, but also one of the more easy ones to do, okay? You need a prep. That means prepare, get ready, okay? The night before. What do I mean by that? Just make sure that you are prepping, not studying, okay? You should have already been studying. Now, if you're one of those kiddos that maybe it doesn't have good skills at studying yet, you can throw some studying in there, okay? But what I mean by prep is just really thinking about what the test is going to be, right? All the strategies you already know, the tools that you're comfortable using, okay? Because I know you have a lot of tools to solve problems lots of different ways, right? So you just have to think about, well, what was the tool that was best for me most of the time, right? What else do I mean by prep? Well, make sure that the dinner that you have that night is a dinner that's not going to upset your tummy. Make sure that you get plenty of rest, all that good stuff. That way, the next day, your brain and your body are ready to rock and roll, all right? You're not all tired. You don't have to, go to the restroom or anything. You're going to be A-okay. So when I say prep the night before, all I really mean is get some rest. Yeah, go over your strategies, think about all of your tools, and think about which tools are best for you. Don't get overwhelmed. Yeah, be comfortable switching between tools. Be comfortable using the one that you think is going to get you the answer that you believe is correct. Okay? Alrighty. So, tip number two. Now, I already made a video showing you guys how to make your dots in a box or your football field. Now, my sincere advice, this is why I made this tip number 2, okay, is come into STAAR, take a seat, use that grid paper that they're going to hook you up with, and just start making your dots in a box right then and there, okay? This is going to do a few things for you. One, it's going to give you that super awesome tool that'll do all the multiplication and division for you. Right? Remember, for multiplication, we always look down for our answer. So you're going to find the factor and look down for the product. Easy peasy. If you're doing division, right? In order to find the right football field, well, that's the divisor. So whatever you're dividing by, if you're dividing by 6, you go to your 6s. If you're dividing by 9, you go to your 9s. And for division, well, we look up for our answers, right? It's the inverse of multiplication. So all you're going to do is find the product and look up for your, find the dividend, caught me, and look up for your quotient. Yeah? That tool is super powerful. But it's also a great way to get you in the groove, to get you flowing, to get your mind going so that you already have lots of your facts in your head. You already saw some facts that maybe, you didn't know. Making those dots in a box in the football field right at the beginning when you sit down shouldn't be a stressful thing. It should be a nice Zen-like experience where you get all your math facts down and all the answers to multiplication and division right when you start. Cool? So tip number 2, right? Use grid paper to make. Now, I always call it a football field. Yeah? Sit down, start making some dots, start counting. You'll get to see all of these great facts. And by the end, and it should only take you about 10 minutes, by the end, you'll already have all of these answers ready for you. You'll have your brain revving. Talking. Okay, really quick, my friends. I'm just going to give you a crash course with the magic of editing. I'm going to put a quick video of just me making my own dots in a box. It'll be about under 10 minutes that it takes me to do it. Right? And as I'm doing it, you can see exactly how I did mine, and you can start to practice your own. Okay, so it's not hard. You'll see me doing it really quickly. It's really simple, and I use the grid paper that they give me. All right, now here's the second thing I wanted to bring up real quick, okay? I'm going to show you how to use it really fast, crash course, but I also want to bring up when do you use it? Well, if you ever see the words groups, each, total, per, each and per, especially along with the total, if you see those words, you're most likely going to be multiplying or dividing. So, which one do you do? It's called get. So, what is get? Get is something that'll let you figure out if you're going to multiply or divide. So, the G is groups, the E is each, but it can also be per, and the T is total. And this is how it works. All you do is you read the problem and you look for these words and you fill in numbers as you go. If you see that there is a word groups and next to it there's a number, you just put it. Well, there was 4 groups. Okay. And then you keep reading the problem and then there's the word each and they give you a number for that one too. And they say, okay, well in each group there was 6. Awesome. Now, they don't give you for a total. If they don't give you a number for a total, that means that you're going to be multiplying. Okay? Anytime the total is missing, okay, you're going to be multiplying every single time. That's really all you need to know. If total is missing, you multiply. Okay? And then all you can do is just come over here and use your tool. I'm going to show you 2 ways to do it. So, 4 groups of 6, yeah? Or 4 groups with 6 in each, however you want to look at it. But remember, context matters. All right? So, I'm just going to go to my 4s. That's my first factor, my 4s. I'm going to zoom in. Here are my 4s. I already made my tool right at the beginning, so I'm ready to rock and roll, right? So, I'm at my 4s. The next thing, how much in each of those 4s? Well, 6. I know for multiplication, I find my factor and look down. Here's 6. If I look down, my answer. There you go. Easy peasy. Now here's the other way you might see it. Clear the board. Okay, so maybe you're going through, and again, you see the words groups, each or per, and you see total. But this time, they did give you a total. They said the total was 18. And then they also told you, well, there's 6 groups. Now what's missing? Well, the each is missing. If they ever give you the total, you're always going to divide. Because dividing is taking a total and putting it into groups. So if they give you a total, that definitely means you're dividing. Okay, so how do you use the tool now? Same thing. Now, what's first? We're going to go to our 6s. So I'm going to go to my 6s. There they are. I'm going to do this reverse now because division is the inverse of multiplication. So I'm going to find the total on the bottom and look up. So I'm going to go to my 6s, find 18 on the bottom, and look up. That's 3. Awesome. Now I'm finished. I'm just going to do a quick, real crash course of doing a bunch of others just so you can see how to do it. But always make sure you use get to see if you're multiplying or dividing. Okay, so they say there's 5 groups of 6. I'm going to go to my 5s. I know for multiplication, find your factor, look down. 5s, here's the 6, look down. There's my answer, 30. And this time they tell you, well, there's a total of 48. Yes, and inside of each one of these bags we put 6. How many bags did we make? Well, we know that they said 6. We're going to go to our 6s. They said the total was 48. I'm going to find 48 on the bottom. I'm going to look up. I was able to make 8 bags. Now, for division, there's one more special one. Some of you older kiddos are already like, yeah, but bruh, sometimes they don't give you like even factors. Sometimes there's a remainder. I'm going to show you. You could still use this, okay? Let's say that they give you a total of 103. I can already tell that this is not probably going to be evenly divided, but that's okay. We could still use the tool. And then you're probably thinking, well, I only went up to my 9. The tool's not going to work. It will, I promise. Check it out. And then they tell you, well, you're dividing by 6. I'm not going to tell you how to divide all the way. There's a video on my channel. Go check it out. But you can still use the tool. It'll be perfect for you. Just hear me out. You're going to go to your 6s first. Here they are. I'm going to my 6s. The first thing you look at is the first place value. Can you divide 1 by 6? What you're going to do is you're going to look at the bottom. Can you see any of those dividends that don't go over 1? No. The very first one is already 6. Well, what's the number for no? It is 0. Okay? So now you add the next place value with it, 10. Now you can divide, but I don't see a 10 down there. So here is your last little tip. You look for the dividend that comes closest without going over. What is the closest dividend I can get without going over? Well, it's 6 because 12 goes over. I'm trying to get it as close as I can to 10 without going over. And it's 6. What's on top? 1. 1. Then you subtract. Does McDonald's sell boogers? 6. What is 10 minus 6? Well, that's 4. Then you bring down. That's 3. Now you have 43. You're going to do the same thing again, my friend. You're going to look for 43 on the bottom. You're not going to see it, but you see how close you can get to 43 without going over. I see a 42 and a 48. 48 goes over. The closest I can get is 42. I'm going to erase a little bit so you can see. The closest I can get to 43 is 42. So I'm going to look up. That's 7. So I'm going to put my 7. Then I'm going to take my 42 and I'm going to put it down there. I'm just going to subtract. That's a 1. Is there anything else I can bring down? No. That means it's my remainder. I was still able to use my tool. 17 remainder 1. Okay, I don't want to take too much of your time. If you have more questions on division, go check out my channel. I love you. Bye. Tip number 3. Use context. Just like with reading, okay? You're not a Pavlov dog. I'm not going to ring a little bell and you're going to start drooling, okay? You are not just trained to do things. You have to use critical thinking skills. Use context. If you see the word total, it doesn't automatically mean that you're adding. Okay? If you see the word difference, it doesn't automatically mean that you're subtracting. It could mean those things, but it doesn't automatically mean that. Okay? Oh, sorry, I got an email. So, let's take a look at tip number 3. Use context. Okay? Read the story for that math problem closely, because that's what they are. They're stories, they're situations. Okay? And they may be giving you more than one step to do. So if you use context instead of just being trained, you're going to do a whole lot better, I promise, okay? So anytime you're reading, look at those keywords. Don't just automatically underline them and highlight them because Mr. Rodriguez told you or because your teacher was like, oh, you better do it. The reason we tell you those things is because that is the context. When we tell you to go through, underline, highlight, circle, box in, those strategies are to get you to see the context. What is the question? What are they asking me? Why are they saying total if I also see the word each? Okay, if you go through, right, using context, you'll always know what tools to put out of your little bag, okay? If you don't use context, you're kind of just going to be hacking away at the test and hoping for the best. That's not what you want, all right? Always use context. Okie dokie. So, really, what it's going to boil down to is using all of the tools your teachers have given you, but knowing when to use them and how to use them. Make that STAAR tool that I showed you how to make, your football field or the dots in the box, and you can use it for so many things. Yes? Now my last tip to you, yes, make another page, iPad. My last tip to you, okay, is the same one for reading. The night that you're prepping, the morning you wake up, the second you sit down while you're doing your dots in your box, you have to remember something. Your brain does what you think, not what you want. You have to think that you will be successful. You have to think that you are going to use your strategies correctly, not because it's extra work, but because it is the work. It is the context. Yeah? Strategies are your bridge to getting the answer. And if you don't ever use that correctly, like, why are you going to jump across the river and hope you make it and then throw a bridge behind you? That doesn't make any sense. Don't do strategies at the end just because we told you to. What you need to do is do them as you go, because that is the bridge that builds you to the answer. Okay? So, my tip number 4 is kind of a combo, but I don't want to overwhelm you either. Yeah? So always remember, be positive. So many people used to tell me that, and I'd be like, dude, whatever, be positive. That is literally the perception that your brain is building of reality. Make sure that you're building a perception of reality that sees you being successful. Think that you're going to be okay. Be positive. Think that you're going to do your best, and you will. Yeah? Don't just want it. Think that that is in your future, because it is. You're fantastic. You're ready. This is your time to shine. Yeah? You're going to be able to do this. All you have to do is take your time, make sure that you care, and you're going to be okay. Be positive. Yes? All right, my friends. Well, please, please, please know that you do not need any luck. You're going to do fantastic as long as you use context, use your strategies as you work, because it is the work. Okay? Use the tool that I tell you to make right at the beginning. Be positive. And honestly, you're going to be okay. That score doesn't define you. Remember that. But your effort, what you're willing to put into it, that does define you. All right, my friends. I know that you're going to do fantastic. I absolutely love you with all my heart. If you have any other questions on math, there's some strip diagram videos, a multiplication and a division review on my channel. Just go check it out. I love you with all my heart. Bye-bye.